Okay, after the radio has been assembled and successfully tested and aligned and everything works fine, it is now time to put it in its enclosure. And I bought this original enclosure with the kit from QRP Labs, and I think it's really a neat enclosure. It's an aluminium profile, and it's got two side panels with it, and each of those have a very nice laser engravement, giving it a very professional appearance. And I think it looks really nice. So let's start and put everything together. Step number one will be to take off the front PCB again and just unplug it here, remove this connector on the side, whereas the little PCB here should remain in its position, and it should also be fixed with this little screw, bolted with this little screw. And first step, of course, will be, I've done that already, but it's a very good idea to clean the LCD display at this point, because later on you will have it behind this enclosure and you will not get to clean the edges so easily again. Okay, if you look at the enclosure, there are these two rails, and these two rails are meant to be used for insertion of this PCB. So all you do is you just slide it in and just leave it this way for the time being and set it aside. The next step should be to fit this side panel. Just slide it over the jacks here. I took extreme care that everything was aligned properly when I soldered in these jacks, and this ensures now that everything will fit perfectly. I hope you did the same. And I will just take this little washer and the nut and put it only very lightly over the RF jack, so this panel still has some play. This will make things easier later on when we assemble the unit further. Okay, the next step will be to mount this pre-assembly together with the LCD board, which is already installed into the front profile. And just pay attention that this little jack here will match with these pins on the other side, and then it should be fairly easy to put this unit together. And at the same time, these shafts of the pots and the encoder here have to be aligned and go through the front panel. Now we will have to fit these 4 screws into their positions, which are here, 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 and here on the PCB, and bolt the 2 units together. Next we have to assemble the bottom cover of the enclosure, and note that there is a little tongue on one side and a little groove on the other side, and these have to go into the matching parts in the other half, and just slide it over here, and this can still wiggle around a little bit. I didn't really fix this nut yet, so just leave it like this so it has a little play. Now take the side panel and just slide it over the jacks here and mount the 4 screws in the corner of the side panel. Now we will bolt this panel side to the profile using the 4 screws in the corner. Okay, this nut still is loose on the RF connector. We can tighten it very gently using the appropriate tool, which in my case was a 14mm metric wrench. Make sure not to over tighten it, just like this should be fine. Not much more remains to be done. We have to install the knobs, and I happen to have these little cardboard pieces left over from the capacitors had been in there, so I'm going to use this for a distance, and of course the screw here will go on this flattened piece of the shaft, and just attach it gently. That will do. And take out the cardboard again so it has a nice distance. Hope you can see it in the video. Yes, you can. So it doesn't scratch on the surface. Do this with both knobs. Well, there's not a lot more to say and do. There are some rubber feet that you may or may not want to put on the bottom side of the radio. I'm gonna leave mine away for the moment and decide later on. Anyhow, I hope you had fun watching the videos of the building of this great little radio, and I hope you will have a lot of fun building your own and operating it, since it's really a cool radio, I think. 73s from DL9 SCO.